Good evening, everybody. This is class 201. This is Ninja Week or Ninja Race for Final Fantasy Randomizer Duckling Boot Camp. I am DM Stewart. Join me in the booth tonight is Jay Scheidel. How we doing tonight, Scheidel?
Hey, not too shabby. Got some nachos in front of me, ready for a thief race. What's better?
I mean, black belt race, but
Hey, we'll talk about that later. I mean, we'll agree to disagree there.
hey, black belt, you know exactly where every breakpoint is. You don't have it doesn't change based on swords.
Oh my.
So let's see.
So yeah,
we've got Shum and Materia Steel on stream tonight.
Yep.
And it is a forced ninja. Shum has taken white, black, and Materia has taken a rainbow.
Mm-hmm. And just FYI, if later on Materia is still in our Discord, sometimes known as Maddie. So if you hear us call her Maddie, that's just so you guys are all aware with that. But wow, double white. That could be interesting.
Well, let's explore why that could be interesting with our blessings. So the ninja gets early lockpick, so lockpicking will be at level 5 and can equip shirts. The red mage has fast and 20 HP. The white mage gets teleport magic and 50 agi. The black mage gets buff magic and 5 luck.
Right. With that early lockpick, we are opening doors pretty much after Garland. Because lockpick is set to level 5, or level 10, and early makes that level 5. Wow.
If not after Garland, then after Pirates, probably. After Pirates, almost certainly.
Definitely early game. It would not surprise me if we don't have it after Pirates. Take a battle or two so that we can open Corneria.
Yeah. So for incentives, we've got. Go ahead.
You got it pulled up?
Yep. I do not have it pulled up immediately.
Yeah, so we have 23 incentive items. So our normal, everything we have normally incentivized, all the main items. A katana, a defense sword, and a power gauntlet. So that katana is definitely going to be useful for our ninja. That defense sword is a free ruse cast. And the power gauntlet is a free saber cast. So that ninja is going to be thick by the end of the game.
Oh,
we also have all of our main NPCs, fetch quest NPCs. And as for locations, Ice Cave, Ordeals, and Marsh Cave. Earth, Volcano, and Sky are all vanilla. C is in a random key-locked chest, which there is only one currently in C, so we know that's going to be that friendly chest there. We also have Canaria locked and Marsh locked on.
Oh, so no.
Marsh,
that's minus 10 levels. That's immediate lockpicking.
That's immediate lockpick? Oh my.
And that's some couch cash. Ooh, ice armor +1, a pro ring, and a bottle.
Yeah, that's armor immediately that our ninja can wear.
That is a super nice find.
Yeah. And both players remembering to go ahead and just warp out.
Relatively cheap houses too.
Oh my, less than 1,000.
Nothing much in white level 1. Oh my goodness, temper. Level 1 temper, level 1 bane.
Right. Bane's going to get you some good work early, but you're not going to use it late game, but that's when you need temper. So, yes.
Well, okay, you'll use it against, like, Tia and Rick, but
maybe, yeah, as long as you're not trying to buff or do something, but yeah. Yeah, I could see picking up Invis. I'm not sure if I necessarily agree with that, but wow, chain +5. That's good armor for that red mage.
Yes, it is.
And a silver sword +2. That'll be good for the thief and the red mage most of the game if we need it.
Yeah, that's good long-term armor. Although that ice +1 is awful nice armor for that ninja.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the chain would go on to the red mage. I've taken a vanilla silver sword into into Chaos before, so I mean, don't like it, but I'll do it.
I'll do it on a secondary carry. I'm not going to do it on my primary. Oh! Oh, that's Blizzard on those grumps.
Oh. Yeah. This. Sorry, Danny. Maybe a Danny seed.
It is.
Oh, look at that troll. Did you see what the king gave us?
Yes. Yes, the king with the vanity key.
With this early of lockpicking, you hope that that key lines up somewhere in like Lethane or something. But
Yeah.
second or first item of the game?
Oh,
No.
man. Oh, second, because they got the bottle.
Yeah, they got the key locked. This is so dumb. I love it.
This is so over the top. It's wonderful. Do I see vanilla? Do I see vanilla trap tiles?
I am pretty sure vanilla tiles are on. Let me confirm that. Nope, trap tile pool is shuffled, so we just got lucky.
We just got lucky and got vanilla gargoyles.
Got vanilla gargoyles and key.
Okay, I can see taking base harm with his garbage as most of that level 1 mana.
Yeah. So we've talked a little bit about the flags in some of our previous races here, but if you don't know, since we're trying to teach some of our ducklings, our newer players here, we have a flag called the Improved Harm spell, which means that if you have a white mage and a white mage only, so it does not count for the red mage or the fighter post-promotion, if you cast any of the harm spells, it does damage to any creature, not just undead.
And one of the reasons we have that flag is for things like, oh my goodness, nuke at level 2.
Danny giveth and Danny taketh. Nuke and Brack. Like, why are you buying Lit 3? Don't buy Lit 3, just buy Brack. Or buy Nuke, sorry.
Yeah, just buy nuke and maybe Brack.
We were talking a little bit in the behind the scenes as we were getting ready. This is when I think that Thief Rainbow, or at least the Red Black, really comes into play.
Yeah.
Level 2 Nuke.
I would almost consider getting level 2 nuke, even though we're 5 minutes in. I would almost consider re-rolling.
I think we're a little bit far, but knowing that the king just has the key, but you need the ship from Sarah. If they were flipped, yeah, I might have, because that means you can just ignore Garland and go. Because you would know that you don't need anything. But
yeah,
no, not the way that it is.
And Shoom gonna go check Crescent Lake. I like this play.
Hey,
that's an adamant. That's an 8K adamant shop.
That's a pretty cheap adamant. Yeah, sell that pro ring,
because you'll be able to buy pro rings later,
or find another one or something.
And let's see.
Yeah, heading to Crescent can be an interesting. That's what you want to see.
Yeah.
That means we can head back over there and do everything. The only thing I'm surprised that we didn't see is maybe an earlier Marsh. I know early Marsh is kind of a meme around the community, but with Marsh locked on also, and that we can get into it, that's 2 key items. And level 2 nuke.
Actually, Shoom can't do everything over there.
Oh yeah, doesn't have
no ruby.
Correct.
But I don't dislike the play. I don't dislike the play of.
That was a veteran call there. Let's see how Maddie's pirate fight goes over here.
Well,
we bought nuke first. I hear you like microwave pirates.
Especially when I will say, especially when level 1 magic is so pants,
Yeah,
I will look at level 2 magic before I fight the pirates.
Bane would do it. You don't want to rely on that coin flip every time,
No.
though.
No, it's too unreliable.
Yeah, I know there's a good chance, but yeah, it's too unreliable.
Oh, Shoom, give the people what they want. Give the people a
Lazy
hooray.
dwarfs.
Lazy dwarves is nice. So we should explain for the ducklings. Lazy dwarfs is where one of the dwarfs has the other dwarf's key item, and there's the ruby. And now Shoom can do all of Melman content.
Yeah. But with Warp and Exit, I think we're probably going to ignore the Hooray Dwarf altogether, which means let's go, Maddie. Shoom doesn't exist anymore. Yep. Or Hooray Dwarf.
Lit 2 and Cake at level 3 black.
Okay.
And Cure 3 at level 3
Cure
white.
3. Yeah.
That is not Red Mage learnable. I don't remember if it's Red Wizard.
I
Defense
can never
and
remember.
ordeals.
Ooh. Oh, yeah. Hint givers are on, aren't they?
Yes, they are, because duckling seeds.
Even when they're on for me, I sometimes forget. Okay, not sometimes. I always forget about them.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I just pay attention to the actual incentive locations and just go and do them. Okay, Titans must not have been on.
Titans is not on. I had to go double check myself. So
Maddie looking like Maddie's gonna go to Marsh.
Yep.
That's a canoe from Old Man Sarda.
Which means that this was required to go through Ruby. We couldn't have flown there.
Correct. Oh, and there's those Blizzard Grumps again.
Whoops.
Okay. You will notice that I will use differing names for some of these enemies. That's because I pretty much always play with the fun enemy names on.
Me too.
So, yeah, you'll hear me see. Oh, yeah, Maddie's run into Blizzard from those grumps multiple times.
But I think we're finally safe coming our way over. We have made it to Marsh. Yeah. Never thought I'd say Marsh is safer, but ugh.
But Marsh doesn't have grumps. So I will say something about. So you mentioned save scumming, which leads into a topic very close to my own cold black heart, which is encounter table manipulation.
Oh yeah.
So I will explain it. Consider a deck of 256 cards that is shuffled at the beginning of the game and sits in the same order for the whole game. Every time you hard reset, you go back to the top of that deck. When you soft reset, you remain at the same place in the deck. All of the encounters are always at the same card. They're always on the same cards. Therefore, you can manipulate where you get encounters, and you'll know that they're always the same encounter. Oh, that's the wrong eye. That's the wrong eye.
Which, fun fact in that room for anyone, if you check that chest from the bottom instead of the top, there is no trap tile there. So you can avoid both trap tiles in that room.
Yeah. So you can know exactly what encounter you're going to see on what step. Ooh, metal slimes.
Level 2 nuke. I'd stick here a bit or two.
Yeah. Especially with exit.
They're free.
Yeah, it's free and it's nice levels.
Or jump up, grab the key. Yeah, okay, so this is the key item.
Yeah.
Run back up here, get rid of your nuke charges, and then warp out. Easy.
Easy peasy.
So something you're going to notice between the two, with Shum being a vet, been around the community for a while, Maddie being a fairly new runner to it, you're going to see Maddie checking a lot more boxes than Shum is. I would be hard pressed for Shum to go out of his way to check any extra boxes.
Yeah, I do still check extra boxes.
I mean,
There's
I guess he'll probably check the ones like we saw in Dwarf Cave and
Oh.
Corneria Lock, some of those, but we're
Thank you,
not
Maddie.
leaving the main path.
Thank you, Maddie. Thank you for saving. No. How many times have I lost a lot of runs by...
So many. And
How many
they're
times
cheap.
have I lost
Just pop a tent.
so many key items from that? Yeah, to answer Jay Brunter in chat, metal slimes are worth a lot of XP. Keep in mind that metal slimes are a Sky Palace enemy.
Yeah, and if you've got nuke or some sort of fire spell with it, just hit them. I don't remember where they land on the XP scale, but they're, I want to say, like top 5.
Maybe not top 5, but in the packs that they come in,
Well, yeah.
pretty darn close.
Yeah, I was including the entire pack.
Okay, good enough.
It's the best grind pack in the game, according to our tracker.
It's one of them.
I know, I've played around with the mage stick before.
Yeah, you can't. You really can. Now Shum's gonna go hit the hit Marsh. Did Maddie?
Right, oh, yeah.
Did Maddie get the adamant?
No, because remember, it's over in Crescent. We've not been over there yet.
That's right.
Maddie finished Corneria, then came straight south to Elfland. Kind of doing the traditional routing.
Yeah, and I do a lot of that traditional routing.
Ditto.
Now Maddie's headed over to Crescent.
And just a little bit too high.
Well, and Shum, you're going to see on Shum's side, this is the correct step. This is very much the correct step routing for EXPs.
Yay.
Get out that level 2 nuke again. But you're gonna see the correct routing to get all of these chests on Marsh Bottom with maximum efficiency.
And if you are a newer runner to this game, I know we've got most dungeons with a good step routing and at least telling you how to get to the treasures on the wiki. So go search around there. Look for dungeon maps.
Yeah. There are still dungeons that I'm not entirely sure of the best location.
Oh, yeah. Run it with a map. There's nothing wrong with that. Looking over at your effect screen or your phone for a few seconds beats getting off track and then taking 3 extra battles.
Yeah. Especially
Did you see the level 6 magic?
Warp, Fire 3,
Fade, and Life 1.
Ooh.
It's a little bit higher than we'd like to see, but we're probably going to get those charges.
But I will say that one thing about that, and one more thing on that encounter manipulation is that it can lead to taking what we call the overworld grind.
Yep.
Which is a favorite of mine. To go and do the desert. To go up to the desert around Mirage Tower. And if you can find off of the hard reset, if you can find the encounter off the hard reset, and get steak and wings or blue steak or sandwiches.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the best grinds because they're almost completely safe. Arm
Yeah,
4 and
they're
Ball at level 5, white. And
and Quad
Ace
X.
3.
Nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
Ace 3 and Quad X at level 5 black.
Saber in there also. Our ninja won't be able to learn it, so it's a little bit unneeded, but good to know.
But a Red Wizard can learn it. And let's see what
Yeah,
that
but
crystal
it
turns
feels
into.
bad if you've got a ninja and your red wizard swinging.
Crystal required. Crystal required. It becomes the loot.
Nice.
And Maddie gonna go and take care of Melmond Continent.
Yep. Which, where was that ruby again? Was that in?
That was in Dwarf.
Okay, so should have gone turned in the TNT there first, or the adamant first, but ooh, yeah, okay. She has it, I see.
Yeah, and there's that herb. Herb becomes chime. Chime opens up. Chime will open up Mirage Tower.
Still need the cube to finish it though.
Yeah.
Quake, not bad to buy there. Wish we would have had it a little bit earlier for Shum, but
Eh.
I mean, come on, we gotta feed. Let's take that Aegis shield. If only we had a fighter.
If only we had a knight, but that Aegis shield will be couch cash basically.
It'll look good on some vendor's wall.
Yes, or a shield's blessing.
Light axe.
Okay,
Now
I
that's
actually like
something.
I actually like picking that light axe up because that is more harm 2 casts for that white mage without using up spell slots.
Here's a interesting conundrum though. We have that ninja who can also swing it, and it's a +5.
Yes, but we're gonna have a katana.
Going to. We don't.
We have a silver +2 that is good enough for what we need right now.
And in chat, I see a distinct lack of ducks. Well, on stream we have one vet and one duck, but we do have more people running this race. And for those of you who are new to the community, or maybe watching in just kind of randomly, we tend to call our new players ducklings. And so our duck derby is when we put all of those ducklings, all those new players together to run.
Yes, but this is also intended to give these new players some experience against some of our experienced runners.
Some new players against some ducks on some a little bit newer player-friendly flags, trying to teach certain skill sets every week.
Yes. The real duck on duck violence will come in a few weeks. And if you know anything about birds, bird on bird violence is truly awful to witness.
And this stream has gone anyway. All right, Shum over in Ice Cave with that early teleportation magic. I mean, we found warp anyway, but we have a couple of options here.
Oh yes.
So in the vanilla game, both of these options are like you can't do it. They're promotion locked. You can't buy warp. No. You can't buy exit. But since everything is randomized and we have early warp, you're probably going to see Shumbabi go all the way around behind the 3 chests. Step into that hole in the middle of the 3 chests, drop down to the bottom floor, and then cast warp.
Yep.
Warp,
and vanilla floater.
Oh my. Okay. Everyone thinks warp takes you back to the staircase of the previous floor. But since you didn't go down a staircase to get there, you fell down a hole, it's going to bring you back up to wherever you went down. So any of those holes, if you drop down it and cast Warp, you're right back upstairs to there. And then we float for a minute while we grab the chests.
The only time that I don't do the only time that I won't do that if I have warp is if I'm looking for a spike tile, grind tile.
Yeah. Or if we're in like a shard hunt or something that you need those chests. But
Right.
otherwise, you can get in and out of Ice Cave in a few seconds, really. And if you don't have warp, but you do have exit, you can go through it, but you only have to do a single lap of Ice Cave instead of going down that second lap. All right, so 23 minutes in, Shoom is in the air.
Where is Shoom going?
Melmond. Translate the slab?
Oh, slab.
Okay.
Slab. I missed that Shoom picked up the slab. I missed that Shoom picked up the slab.
Yeah.
Yeah, Maddie's gonna have to go to Dwarf and come back.
Yep. I don't hate the gamble of checking to see what was in Earth Cave. Like, if that happened to be the TNT, then, you get both of them.
Yeah.
But it feels bad when we know that the TNT is Lazy Dwarfs.
Yeah. And see, I usually make the Lazy Dwarfs gamble.
Yeah. It's a little extra feels bad now whenever you know you have the key. And you're probably going down to open up the armory anyway. You don't want to walk down there twice. But hey, whatever.
And there is getting the adamant, or the ruby, rather.
Yep.
Okay, Shoom is going for the waterfall.
Which is another one that...
Yep. I don't know that I would have made the play that Shoom is making. I think I'd like to think I would have gone I'd like to think I would have gone to get bottle. Would have gone to turn in the bottle.
Yeah, you got bottle and
just in
slab.
case that was cube. Yeah, because proximity.
Well, and you got 2 checks there, which will both, or one of them will probably get you somewhere. Most people like to hold the Honorat Continent off until you have Oxy.
Yeah. The other thing it might have been is it might have been a tail. And really you have 3 checks over there because let's not forget about ordeals, which we know is a defense sword.
Yep.
Which is absolutely something we want. And there's that loot for Maddie. And Shoom runs from the Ghastee, which actually like fighting Ghastees. Ghastees are some of the best XP in the game. That's a tail from
Okay. Well, we don't hate to see that. With the ninja, it's not quite as required, but hey, get those mages up, learn the higher level spell charges. That means Shoom is definitely going back over to Lefane, going back over to Gaia. Maddie is headed back to Provoca. What's going on?
Did get magic?
Yeah.
Buying more new.
Interesting. Don't hate it. Don't know if I would have come back that far to grab it at this time, but don't hate it. But I kind of tend to have the was it the fallacy of loss or whatever? Like I'm doing
Yeah.
this, I'm gonna keep just going. Like I made my decision 20
Sunk,
minutes ago.
it's called the sunk cost fallacy.
Yeah. Ooh, life 2
There's
level
life.
7. Sorry, I think we saw it at the same time.
And there's our ribbon.
So, for some of the newer runners who may be familiar with like vanilla Final Fantasy and maybe haven't looked into it a whole lot, the ribbon in the original game and in here, it's got like 1 defense. Usually you see it, and in the vanilla game, I remember going, "What the heck?" and throwing it out. The ribbon gives you resistance to every single status ailment. So we love it because no more stone touch and less poisoning and all of this. I think with it, you have a 3 in 256 chance to actually get hit.
Yeah. Ooh. Good play by Shum. Lefane Superstore is on.
Okay.
So Shum is going to go over and get all of the magic, except for what you can get at Gaia, all at once.
So, Superstore. Talk me through it. What is the Superstore?
The Lefane Superstore, you know how in the vanilla game you have those two little stores that have 1 spell each, that's only the level 8? Well, Lefane Superstore means that you have every magic shop except for the 2 magic shops at Gaia sitting at Lefane. And it just goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah. So if you can promote before you get here, you can grab all of your spells except for a few.
Magic. You can get basically all of your magic.
And Shum walking by the white magic, show it off. Fabian doing a call out to one of our previous
And
tournaments.
that is
Sky, Sky, Sky.
Well, Sky provides. Sky absolutely provides.
I'm a little bit in the neighborhood of C provides, but that was mostly our recent tournament.
Well, Sky doesn't just provide for items. Sky provides levels.
Sky is one of the best places for a good walking grind.
Ooh, there was the fun police that I saw very briefly on Shum's screen. C does provide carbonation. I will agree with Davion Hawk, our tracker, in the chat. C does provide carbonation. And there's sandwiches.
I think that was a second encounter, so it's not far off, but it's not light.
Yeah, it's not perfect, but it's still pretty good.
Oh, no, we went over here. There may be first. Yeah, they're first off.
It is first off.
Okay. I didn't see that Shum went past the tower. And that looks like a short first step.
Yeah, it is.
Is that a single step?
1 or 2.
Okay, I was about to go into something. I'm like, yeah, it takes a little bit more time because you got to save and you got to walk and everything. No, this is this is about as golden as you can get.
Yeah, pretty much. The only thing better would be Blue Stake. There would be Blue Stake 1 step off the hard reset.
And with the fact that you're saving and resetting every single time, if you happen to take an accidental wipe or if you get ambushed and they have something horrible, you're good.
Yeah, you're still fine. Oh, Maddie. Maddie learned the River Maid.
So, one thing I like to ask whenever we get into a grind situation like this.
Stone touch on those hydras.
And crack on the sandworms. Our black mage is down. Which, Where I was going, one thing I like to ask about our grinds, what level would you grind to? What do you think is your feel-good level?
With this scaling, it's not a level as much as it is... Oh, but I don't have Katana yet.
Mm-hmm.
It's whatever I can get 5 hits. Whatever I can get 5 hits with Katana.
I would feel
So-
good leaving here in the low 20s, which is right where Shum is, I guess. But yeah, I'd shoot for like 21, something like that, trying to get a few more levels in Sea and Sky.
And Shum heading into Sky. And Maddie getting that floater.
Yep, also doing the warp trick, so good trick to remember. But Maddie gonna go finish clearing ice. This is gonna be one of the main... Oh,
nope.
Check the spike tile. Okay.
Check the spike tile because it's a safe grind.
Yes.
If it's like an eye, we're going to take that for a while.
So we'll ask that question then. Safe grind? What's safe grind?
Okay, safe grind. That means you get no off-tile encounters. That means that there are certain places that when you step it. We talked about I mentioned encounter table manipulation earlier. There are certain places that when you take a step, it does not advance the encounter table.
Yeah.
That is Oxyale out of sea or out of sky. So presumably that means a Katana in sea? Question mark.
We know from a hint giver that the defense sword is in Ordeals.
Ordeals.
So where does that leave Power Bonk?
It could be Power Bonk.
Where else have we
those
not
read
seen?
chests. So, safe
volcano.
tile. Safe tiles, yeah, volcano. So, safe tiles. Anywhere in the front of a door, the actual doorway itself, or the bottom row of a room are considered what we consider safe tiles, i.e. they get no off tile. You do not get an encounter there. It does not advance the encounter table.
The bottom floor of the room being the inside. So you enter through a door, and then that immediately inside bottom row is the safe
Correct.
tile.
Which means that Sphinx tile there in Ice Cave would be what we consider a safe grind. The vanilla white dragon tile in Ice Cave, also a safe tile.
Yep.
Because you can go in and out the doorway and get back to it. So Thavion in chat says wrong landing spot, Maddie, and that is because when you defeat Carrie, the spot you come out is the bottom left of the volcano. And Brack lands for Shum.
Oh, the cheesy Brack. You love it.
Love those cheesy Brack strats.
Oh yeah.
Right there where Shum landed.
Well, something we're going to notice here, probably really quick. Maddie was into Volcano a decent amount ahead of Shum. But Shum's going to probably blitz through this floor.
Yep.
Probably blitz through the next floor. Maybe check 1 or 2 chests, but I doubt it. We're probably going straight down to the incentive and getting out of here.
That's what I would expect.
It's hard to suppress your inner loot goblin, but sometimes you gotta. Really, how much time this makes up for Shum.
That is so hard for me to suppress the loot goblin.
Since we were talking about your encounter minute, oh yeah, right here. This bottom line, all along this, is 3 tiles. And
also the damage tiles.
Yeah, that's where I was going to go to next. Every tile that you take damage on, so either the lava here or the ice tiles in Ice Cave do not progress the encounter table either.
I can't fault Maddie for taking Volcano Armory, especially
Nope.
with having exit.
I probably would as well. I would be kicking myself because I know better, but I probably would.
It doesn't hurt that much.
Yep.
Per chest.
So we're probably going to see another little trick here on Chumbobby's screen. Grab this, and are we going to warp back since we have it? This saves you the 2 spike tiles and a possible random encounter.
Also, that's a power bonk, which means we've got a katana in C.
Okay.
And yep, that is exactly what Shum is going to do.
Yeah, this saves you to where you've only got, a half a dozen or so encounter possible tiles.
And that you don't have to go back through that spike tile.
Well, 2. Oh, no, because I guess you're standing on 1.
Yeah,
So,
you're standing on 1, so... yes, Thavion mentions walking on the lava tiles. We did just talk about that. So Maddie's going to pick up that power bonk.
Yep. Which, again, since we're doing this for the newer runners, power bonk is the power gauntlet. I honestly don't know when bonk became gauntlet. I know it's history before I got here, but it's fun to say, so we say it.
And I think we'll see Shum completely skip ordeals. And completely skip that defense
The
sword.
defense sword?
I don't know that I would.
Nice, but no.
I don't know that I would, since we don't have a ruse stick or a white shirt.
But the way
or
that
in
Shum is
too.
skipping everything, no. We've got the foot planted. We might go grab that katana because we know exactly where it's at.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
know exactly where that katana is.
It's pedal to the metal. We're going.
Shum? Oh wait, no, that's TFC.
Yeah, it's on this side. It's on this floor. Which, fun fact again, if you guys did not realize from Vanilla, this center room is locked.
Yeah, that C-shaped room there, it's locked.
Yep.
It is the only locked room. Oh my god, it's katana +4.
72 crit rate. Yeah,
Ding.
there are 2 locked chests in this, or 2 locked doors in this game that, like, why? That's one of them, and there's one in the Temple of Fiends Revisited that you're like,
yeah,
you can't get here without a key. Why did you lock this door?
What is in TFC chest in vanilla?
I honestly do not know. Let me go look that up because I'm curious now.
Because I know the Singleton chest on Sky 1 is the Bane Sword in vanilla.
Yes. Okay, that is chest 5. That is chest... Oh my goodness. Do you want to know what is locked behind that chest?
Yes.
Or 20 gold.
Oh,
20
wow.
gold.
That is just awful.
That's rude. Other items on the floor that could have been locked. The opal armor is upstairs, like on the top of that floor.
Yeah.
The light axe is in the bottom left of that floor. The mage stick is on, like, as you're going to the staircase. And 12,350 gold is in the final chest. But there's 20 in that one.
Yes, heads that TFC. That friendly chest.
Oh my.
Oh Lord. I'm not I'm not sure why Shum is checking chests here.
I mean, these are kind of greed checks along the way. Maybe we will go grab that defense sword if we're feeling uncomfortable, but...
I mean, well... the second katana.
Which meant that entire right side dive was unnecessary.
Oh my. And Shum on the Kraken
shaking his head. Oh, my.
And Maddie is going to go and do sky.
Yep.
You know, it's nice to see that even runners like Shum can have perfect step routing. It kind of makes me as a scrub runner feel a lot better.
It's so easy to fat finger a location or something and take a step off, and you're like, really?
And Shum trying to bracken that Kraken. Kraken doing Kraken 2 things and punching out a white mage.
We have in chat here to tell Maddie that you misspelled fantasy. Maddie, don't misspell fantasy. Come on. You would think an arbiter of our community would know how to spell the game's name.
Oh, that's an awful pack.
Yeah?
Wiz mummies with cremate, mummies with trance.
Ugh, Danny.
I mean, it's not ambushing nuke arachnids, but still.
Alright. Shum gonna head, probably get up on potions, do any last shopping we need to, and then head on down.
So one of the things that we've put in, that the community has put together that I really, really like is mid-Topher. Even better than short Topher. I like mid-Topher.
Still keeps the Fiend's floors, adds a few little shortcuts in it, but cuts out all of this back and forth nonsense.
Yeah, cuts out the mid-4.
Oh, you know how we were talking about those slimes being a sky enemy? Maddie's showing us that. Found one vanilla. So imagine getting this early game.
Shum ran that pack. Ran into that pack too.
Okay.
Other enemies that you find on Sky 1, the Eye.
Yeah. And in a close third, the Burmedusas.
Which, in the early game, when you first run into the Eye, it's a pain. Vanilla Eye is actually scary with Quad X.
Yep.
By the time you get to Sky, nope.
Well, speaking of vanilla games that are scary, vanilla monsters that are scary, Shum's about to get to one. Yeah. Lich 2. I mean, we take Lich kind of as a joke here, but vanilla Lich 2 usually began with Nuke.
Yeah, vanilla Lich 2 was no joke.
Here, it's usually just a hold A and whatever happens, but yeah. Lich can roll something and hey.
I mean, here, Lich 2 is worthy of all the disrespect.
Yeah. I mean, I've bonked him on the head with a white mage and a staff before because turn order.
Okay, Maddie gets that Oxy Ale.
Yep. So, little thing, I don't know if you saw with Maddie there. Maddie decided to go up and check that chest from the left. If she would have gone to the right and checked that chest from the bottom, there would not have been a single encounter step that she would have added. So it's little things like that you're like, oh, it's just one step. Right, but you're progressing that deck of cards. And maybe you'll get one more battle or two more battles than your opponent. And that one could be the one that cracks your party.
Yes, it could.
It's
And
surprising how much they add up, especially in long dungeons.
And Lich 2 actually survives the first round.
Okay. Barely.
And I see in chat that Thavion Hawk, our tracker, is cheering for a war chicken. Which I suppose I should give a shout out at this point to our restreamer, Ozplodo, and our tracker, Thavion Hawk. Thank you both for what you do, because otherwise I'd just be sitting here talking to myself. And
I mean, that's fun to do, but it's more fun with other people.
And there goes Carrie too.
Wait, Carrie 2 was on the screen? I think Lich lasted longer.
Yeah, I think Lich 2 did last longer.
All right, Tia 1. Let's see what Maddie does. Split 2, nothing. Thank you, Tia. Fast coming off on that ninja. That's a good move. Wonder what we're swinging. Probably still a silver sword.
I think so, because not a
yeah. Well, we know we're both. Ooh, that's not a. No, that could be a silver sword. Oh, the water tile. How are the waters?
And there's a Kraken too. This is the place where I wish I had Bruised Stick or a defense sword or something.
Yeah.
Because
but this is where you just speed and power it and just try to kill Kraken before she kills you. Passes out. Couple of nukes going on. 2 hits, 3 damage. That's maybe not.
Absorbent.
That crit will do it, but ugh. So did we
Life
not
2 in battle?
Yep. Fast was on the red mage, and Shum doesn't have a red mage. So unless we picked it up on that black mage in level 6 or whatever it was. Yeah.
And there's a Tia 2. Yeah, I don't think Shum has fast.
Yeah.
And Maddie is gonna go and do ordeals and pick up that.
Oh. Yeah, that's right. Our tracker is telling us. Yeah, it's in level 8 because it's one of the pre-spells. It was warp that I think was in level 6. Yeah.
Well, just because it's one of the freebies doesn't mean it has to be level 8.
Okay.
It just means that for the red
level
mage,
8 for you.
It will sit in level 8.
Yeah.
But in this case, it is also level 8.
Yeah, we also understand it is randomized into APU. Yes. Okay, Tia 2. Hanging in there a little bit. So, since we didn't see it from Shumbabi, let's talk about Maddie's screen for just a little bit. This pillar maze, if you have warp and you realize that you went into the wrong pillar, warp back. It'll take you to the pillar that you entered. Especially if you get something where you go all the way back to the main or the first floor. Or like this one. We know that we were here. Maddie could have used a warp to get back to that pillar.
And Shum heading down about to pull chaos.
Why don't you run us through the chaos battle?
And getting out of harm 3 and a couple of walls and a fast and an invis 2.
Maddie, use a warp there.
And gonna keep using a power bonk. Gonna use a little more power bonk. get out fast, get a fast off. And Chaos Fire 3, that's going to be 9 hits for 927. That's a nice
That'll get us
lock.
there.
That'll get us there easy enough.
I didn't even look what the scaling for the monsters was in this one.
It's pretty standard low. It's pretty standard low to medium.
I know Fighter Week was vanilla, and we are still vanilla. So Chaos will have 2,000 hit points.
Yeah, that means probably this will do it. Yeah, that'll do it. 9 for 673. We'll take Chaos out. Shoom Bobby is our first finisher on stream with an official racetime.gg time of 52:34. Pickles and Beer is our actual winner in the race room with an official racetime GG time of 49:07. Hey, I was just happy on Monday that I didn't get last.
It's always a fun thing. Let's see if we can get Shoom in here.
Oh, GG to you, Shoom.
Good game.
Thank you.
So, how was that seed? How are those blursings?
I mean, before the seed was rolled, I went into dev chat to be like, is there a way we could turn off early lockpicking for things like tonight? And then there it was. So I know we had somebody in the race room earlier going, I don't know how to do things out of progression, really. And I mean, like I said there, early key is going to happen in this particular flag set. But
yeah,
it was still worth jumping straight into the castle to get those treasure chests because it just sets you up for the rest of the game.
Yeah, that's what, 5 additional chests and a incentive item to keep you going?
Yeah. I mean, I was really hoping for that katana early, but of course that was my last possible find.
Yeah, okay. So since you jumped there, what about finding that katana? You knew that it was going to be in C, and then you decided to check Sharknado.
No, I didn't. I overstepped, and then I was like, all right, I'm here.
Okay. We were all wondering, it's like, you have not checked chests, you have been fading everything.
No. I checked that first chest. That first chest is a free step encounter, so I just accidentally held up too long. And so once I hit the Agama, I was like, you know what? I'll hit it twice. I'll hit it on the way out, and then might as well check these.
Because we were curious.
Yeah, no, that was totally not intentional.
Yeah, also that free ribbon in Volcano.
Yeah, that was fortunate because I skipped it on Monday night's race, and somebody had mentioned, like, it's a free chest, why don't you do it? And I was like, yeah, you know what? It's 3 seconds. Why not?
Yeah. So we got the question here in chat from Pickles and Beer, but talk us through why you did 2 white mages.
I love my white mages. Red mages are the worst. But I was considering double black, right? Because speed and power, 100% scaling on bosses. If I found a nuke, I guess I could have. But then I thought to myself, if I find a nuke early enough, I have the thief to cast it. So I knew I wasn't taking a knight here. On the one hand, like I would like to have taken a knight, but fortunately I didn't because I didn't find anything that the knight would wield. And the alternate choice then is I would rather have a second life caster.
Okay.
That's fair. I mean, the knight would literally have been an amulet of meat shield.
Yeah, and not even because it doesn't really have any armor to take the hits. It's just a one hit and wonder.
Mm-hmm. So we got Ragnarok saying found the massa there. We did not see that at all from Shoom Bobby's screen.
No, I'd be shocked if I opened like 30 chests in this one.
Yeah. So, kind of a what-if question for you here. We had a free ninja. Would your thought and party have changed if that was a free thief?
No, probably not.
No? Okay.
I'm promoting in this flag set strictly because Lefane Superstore is on. And so I'm going to be grabbing some stuff. I'm probably leveling to early 20s with a thief carry. So I'll have the spell charges. And I'm not changing that. I'll find the tail.
Okay. That's all fair.
I was planning on running Ninja White Mage solo, like a duo, but couldn't take nuns.
Okay.
And Maddie pulls Kraken 1.
Maddie does have that defense sword in hand, though, so we're going to get a little bit of evasion here. Kraken being a little bit of a jerk. And is that a poison touch on Kraken? I don't remember seeing that from Shinobi's screen.
I think it might be a poison touch. Well,
that
was
red
because
wizard was not.
That was because the one punch that Kraken got off murdered someone.
Yes.
Okay.
Can't poison them if they're already dead.
I mean, I think we call that salmonella. All right, so Kraken 1 is down. Maddie, I'm assuming, is going to be headed towards Topher pretty soon.
I would
Done all of our
so.
checks. Yeah, we've done all our checks. We have all the stuff. Maybe a little bit of magic shopping. I don't know if I didn't pay attention if we checked the superstore or not. Heads up play, stopping in though to grab the heals from Onrak instead of going to Corneria.
And
oh, we're headed up to Waterfall.
Waterfall, which is going to be, get Maddie that tail.
Yeah. So Shum, talk to us about that call.
No, don't ask me because I forgot.
No. You had Bottle, you had Slab, you had choices, and you went to Waterfall.
I did think I had the Oxyel. I have some seed bleed from the other day, but the other thing was I knew that the fairy had a ribbon, and I wasn't going to Lefane until I promoted, so it wasn't gonna. Those sides weren't an option anyway in my mind. It was going to be Volcano first if I had to.
That is totally fair. But yeah, you had a couple people yelling at you in chat, going, "But Bottle, but Slab."
Yeah, no, I had the hint for the bottle, so that was deliberate that I wasn't going there until I needed it. And then, I was hoping to find something on the robot that would kind of direct me a little bit more, because the slab, that's such a wild card play, is to turn in the slab and then find out you didn't really want to be in Lefane yet and not be able to utilize the Superstore.
Yeah.
Yep.
There is that.
And I guess speaking of wildcard plays, while we watch Maddie kind of clear up some checks here, what about Lazy Dwarfs? And you're going over to Crescent to grab that Adamant.
I was thinking everyone else is going to Marsh Cave because that's normal.
Yep.
So I like to do the
chests.
Yeah, the differentiation play, right? Because everything else, I mean, in a predictive flag set with this stuff, it's going to wind up keeping you in the inner sea and just sort of bounce around. And it was like, I don't want to bounce around. I want to see what opens up. And so that early canoe was very helpful. And I decided I wasn't about to take down carry, so I lucked into that floater a bit. But then it really hurt me because I had that analysis paralysis thing where I go, oh no, I have too much open right now.
Right.
So one other thing that I will note is that we were talking earlier about 3 squares. One of the places.
Maddie.
Yes.
Oh, Maddie went to go get the tail,
and then didn't promote.
And hasn't promoted. I mean, it's fine, but Anyway, sorry. Yeah, 3 squares. I'm sorry.
We mentioned about 3 squares earlier. Other free squares are the brick on the docks, and the first square when you get into or out of the canoe.
I think I hit most of my rivers. I missed a couple of docks because I'm getting used to this new controller. But yes, I try to take advantage of the dock squares as much as possible.
Well, I was mentioning that as Maddie sailed or canoed through the river instead of getting out and in on multiple opportunities.
Mhm. It's very counterintuitive until you understand.
But
Mm.
a dive here is definitely doable. So let's see. We've already got that pre-promoted ninja. Let's see what happens.
I just realized I was probably talking while muted. It's all good. Did I respond at all to any of the doc stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. I didn't miss it all.
But with this being a good opportunity for our newer runners to learn, I figured it was good to mention things like where the free tiles are. And
Oh yeah.
Yeah, all of
And
those things
especially
just
on the
become muscle memory once you run the maps enough.
especially on the second half of the week seed, because the first one we try to explain some of the basic stuff, but these are the little bit more advanced seeds, so let's start explaining some more advanced stuff.
well, okay, I will say that Monday's seed was a great one to talk about encounter table manipulation with two
Oh, we did.
encounters right off the hard reset.
That was a great one to talk about a lot of things, and we won't talk about that one much.
Well, I'll be talking about it tomorrow for VOD review, so if anyone wants to
Yeah.
jump in on
okay.
that.
I apologize in advance.
I believe my VOD.
Yes, I think I'm going to be taking DM Stewart's VOD, and we'll be tearing it apart and building it back up.
Hey. Might have to pay attention to that. Which does lead us into a really good thing for any newer runners out there. We do have a VOD review channel, so if you go through one of these seeds, or like the async or something, and you're like, I feel like I could have done better, how? We have a lot of veteran players who would love to walk it through with you, or to watch it and give you advice on it afterwards. All you gotta do is ask. They're there.
Yes, that has helped me get significantly better at these. Not that what you'll see tomorrow is that great.
Yeah, there's been multiple times that I've had someone's like, hey, will you just watch it? And then I get a wall of text that just says, well, you did this. Well, you did that. Oh my God, why are you doing this? I'm like, okay, I know where he's at in the seat now.
It's very easy to like armchair it, but it's in the moment. There's a lot of decisions happening.
Oh yeah.
And it's not easy to keep track of all of them, and so it's so much of repetition and practicing the right things. So that way, when the oddball thing happens, you have the space in your brain to think about it.
Well, and a 100% just example of that was Maddie right there. Got out of that room and went, is this the floor I go right? Is this the floor I go left? Is it? And she went back and forth about 3 times before realizing it's the left one. And that's not much. It's only, maybe a minute or maybe a second or two that you wasted. That was maybe 4 steps. And so if there was going to be one more step on that sky floor here in a little bit, now she's got an encounter, whereas you may not have gotten it.
Yeah. It's not the time invested in moving the wrong direction. It's the steps invested.
Well, and depending on how many we took, that could make maybe a harder encounter being on the sea floor instead of somewhere that you wanted it being on the volcano floor.
And there goes speed bump number 2.
That seems to be a little bit faster than Shumbabi did it. Sorry,
Just
sir.
Touch.
Oh, I was saving my resources on Lich here because I knew that I only had the 2 spell charges on level 8, and I wanted to save my fast and invis, and so I was hoping to get a quake off.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's completely fair.
right. Ooh.
Ooh, mm.
Carry with a punch.
Like my usual thing with Lich 2 and Carry 2 is use no spells. Use no spells before seafloor. Unless you're using a life. Unless you're using a life charge.
So on this particular flag set, it's actually quite beneficial. Carry only has, I think, 700 health on vanilla scaling at this point. Maybe is that 700? Yeah, 700 sounds right. 750
4,
maybe.
5, 6, 7. Correct.
Yeah. So like I went nuke harm 4 because I know that that's going to be one turn and done. And so I didn't have the variance of, oh no, is she going to be evasive? Oh no, is this one going to get hit down? Like, just
That's
get
fair.
the casts out. It's all a game of resource management once you're into Topher, but you have to weigh, am I really saving a spell charge or am I wasting 30 seconds? Because time is a resource here too.
Yeah, and I'm usually in the position. I'm usually at the point of, okay, I know I'm going to use a ton of spell. I know I'm going to need the spell charges later for Kraken and Tia.
Just make sure not to run into that. I've got to save that elixir till the end, and then after the final battle, I still have my. Wait a minute, I could have used that.
Yeah.
It's totally me in RPGs.
Yeah, I don't know where I developed that from, because Final Fantasy 1 doesn't let you do that, right? Vanilla Final Fantasy, you're using all those heal pots on the way down, so I don't know how I developed that bad behavior. But everybody knows what we're talking about here.
A quick note, though, of something that you mentioned. We talked about it on Tuesday on the Fighter Week seed, but for anyone who wants to try a little trick to memorize the HP values of our fiends here, if you just remember 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, you can count and then go Lich, Carry, Kraken, Tia. That is, Lich 1 is 400, Lich 2 is 500, and just keep adding 1. You've got all the vanilla HP levels.
I never knew that.
Yep.
I have been playing this game for years, and I never knew that.
Well, yeah, it's really helpful when you have 100% HP scaling, but so typically we do not, right? We wind up with this 120 to 200% range sometimes, and so you have such a wide variety, you're just hoping to get the damage in. But if you know for a fact that it's going to be like even 150 to 150, it's pretty reasonable to calculate how much you're going to want to do. And it lets you sort of anticipate. I don't know if you noticed a lot of... I try to use Quad X very frequently on these bosses because I know after round 1 they're going to be within 300 health.
And Quad X, we didn't really talk about it much during the seed, but yeah, I'll kill anything that's not resistant to death with less than or equal to 300 HP. So most of our early bosses, Astos, Skarland, some of the early games there, just Quad X them and they're down. And then some of these later ones, hit them a time or two, hit Quad X, and if we don't have a high scaling on, they're going down.
Fun. So once again, we'll shout out Oslodo, our restreamer, and Davion Hawk, our tracker. And Maddie pulls a carry too. If you have been enjoying this race, please consider joining the Discord. As Jay Scheidel mentioned, we have a lot of experienced runners who are willing to help teach you how to beat them. Like Shumbabi, that you're in the chat. Like Jay Scheidel as well.
You don't want to learn from me.
Hey, I'll learn from anyone who will teach me.
Okay, that's fair.
If only my students were so kind.
That's the best mindset to have.
Hey, I used to be a teacher myself, so I'll learn from anyone who will teach me.
Oh, Oslado, we have talked about that a couple times. Ugh.
We have just come out of the winter tournament. This is our Duckling Boot Camp, which is the preparation for our Duckling Derby, which is coming up in a couple of weeks. Duckling Derby is a whole lot of fun. It is our new runner program. Other tournaments and events that we have through the year. We have the summer co-op. We have the winter tournament, summer co-op. We have the fall league. We have the double anti-bingo, which is its own interesting bit of fun. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, we've got lots of events that go on throughout the year. So if you're interested in anything, now's the best time to jump on in. Like this new player tournament, it's put on by some great Duckling Dons. They're going to go through a lot of seeds. I was looking through it the other day going, oh my, they're teaching that, they're teaching that. So if you have any interest in joining us at all, this is the prime time to jump in. It's not too late. You don't just say, oh, hey, they've already been going for a week. We'll catch you up. We'll make sure that you're ready to go with it. And yeah, come join the community. Come on in, grab the duckling roll, or just hang out and chat in one of our mini channels.
This is a great and welcoming community. They do a lot for a lot of people, for a lot of new people. And Maddie pulls Tia too.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna get cheeky Bane strats. I like it.
I do have to be honest with some of our newer runners, though. There's one warning I have to give out. Be prepared to talk food.
Yes, we have a lot of people in the community that like to talk food.
So if talking food is for you, jump on in.
I have one objection with how Maddie has been doing on this, which is Maddie has run herself out of fast casts before chaos.
Now, did we pick it up since we do have that red mage? Did we pick it up? No, because we didn't go back to level 8. So never mind. Nope. I was going to ask if we had the vanilla and in the end.
Also no katana, so no ridiculous amounts of crit.
Are we still swinging that silver sword? Oh.
We're swinging defense.
Oh, defense sword. Okay. That'll get us there. Feels bad, but that'll get us there. Wonder what the defense... I didn't see what its crit rate was this time.
I think it was defense +1, so...
Okay, fill pot chug, and here we go. Thief going into slot 4. Ooh, cheeky. Which, I guess, little thing here at the end for some of our newer runners. There is a difference in chance on which character is going to get hit based on their position on the screen. So slot 1 should get hit 50% of the time. Slot 2 should get hit 25% of the time. And then slot 3 and 4 are both at 12.5% for that remaining 25%. Right. So your first character is more likely to get hit than the other characters on single target stuff.
I think if we're going to be super sticklers,
I
think slot 3 is not actually 12.5%. I think it winds up being 31 out of 256, and the 33 out of 256 go to slot 4.
Huh.
I think.
So slot 3 is slightly lower?
Slot 3 I know is the one that allows for the crit loops a little bit more actively when you don't have the fixed RNG table, because it's not really true randomness, obviously, in a game like... I don't know that's obvious, but it's not true randomness in a game like this. It goes through a table of values. And slot 3 is the one where most players will put their carry if you need to protect them on chaos.
But looking at what just happened on Maddie's screen, very happy she didn't.
Yep. Good to put the carry not in slot 3.
Looks like Chaos is like, I'm gonna punch here. Oh, that's not the thief.
So I'm gonna punch here. Oh wait, that's not a white mage.
Wasn't
Confused
even
by
the white
sprite.
mage. What? Hey, getting some work out of that Harm 3 spell that we talked about at the very beginning of the game. So, like we said, it'll hurt everything when cast by that white mage. Oh! And that is GG's for Maddie. Let's see if we can get her in. And...
Okay,
I-
so we will go through our other finishers. Herbie B with a time of 55:11. Ragnarok with the in fourth at the time of 57:07. Goats Pirate at fifth with a 1 hour and 35 seconds. Felisan, a new runner, with 1:13:09, and Maddie 1:17:30. Congratulations, GG to you.
GG's.
Wait, we weren't aiming for golf scores?
What?
Nah, you know what? I'm happy to have been at least close to the pack, considering that these are very wild settings for me compared to what I've been training on for like the last month. Also, you told me I ran out of fast. I did not. I very much knew that my black mage had buff magic in level 8, so I had 4 casts of fast. I was counting. Oh.
Got you there.
Yeah. I had the incentive list open on the side, and I'm like, okay, I'm 50-15. Do I want to run around C hoping to find one, or hope that it's in Katana? I'm like, I gave up on Tail promotion because I had enough fast casts, and Temper was slot 1, so I'm like, okay, I have everything I relevantly need. So I'm just 50-15 it, and then it was the Tail and Waterfall. I'm like, well, I'm not going back into C. Let's just do it.
Okay. So you didn't check the Katana. Well, duh, because you would have had it. That makes
Yeah.
more sense.
Yeah, I had checked every incentive location except for the loose in C. And again, I just beelined Kraken in there because I wanted to get it done. And then, obviously that cost me. I didn't get the Katana. I didn't get any good weapons. I was using that silver for most of that run. And I'm like, what is this? Help. Anything, please.
Well, I don't know if it makes you
No.
feel any better or worse that Shumbabi stumbled upon the second Katana. Also in
on-
C. In
Also in
Sharknado
C,
Ring.
in Sharknado 4.
You know what? High five. You actually checked something in C because I didn't.
No, I didn't. I mean, I checked the TFC box intentionally. The other one was totally not intentional. But man, if any of you could see how much I rolled my eyes when I saw that second katana, I was like, oh, I'm so glad ninjas can dual wield.
Yeah, so, okay, so it says C locked. Does that mean it can only be TFC?
Yes, unless
Yes.
the mermaid prison is on.
Okay, because I missed the class yesterday, so I got like the Cliff Notes version of it, watching it at like really fast, and I'm like, okay, I understand I'm gonna have low health, I understand I'm gonna need to rely on my crit rate, and temper is very important. That's what I got. Let's go.
Yeah, it is random key locked only for if that mermaid prison is on. Otherwise, yeah, TFC is it.
Okay, so that wouldn't have been as bad as I thought it was gonna be.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm not dissatisfied with much other than my movement. My movement is very, very bad, and you are welcome to scold me.
No, you gave us a great thing to talk about. Just repetition. That's all it needs. You have some great pathing going down. It's just like we talked about a little bit in Topher. You went back and forth a time or two trying to figure out which way do I go.
A little bit of it's that, and a lot of it is like when I'm taking a grind on Toph, a lot of the time I'm trying to walk all the way to Lich, even though I'm not going to be in on a DL4, just to get that muscle memory in.
So no,
One
it's just
thing-
repetition.
One thing I will. This is not a scold. This is a how to get better.
Yep.
On Kraken floor, either go left or go up. But once you do one of them, commit to it.
Yeah, my brain is starting to understand I need to go up left in Kraken Room, but it doesn't exactly know which way to do it. So we're getting there. But C was one of the dungeons in Winter Tournament that I like very rarely went into because I tended to avoid it. Now I have to learn to route it, and I'm like, but what if I just didn't? Yeah, I know C is probably my weakest dungeon for routing.
Either one works fine. Just when you choose one, commit to it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, no,
And
I was
maybe
going
it's
left, and I'm like, I couldn't remember if that was going to be the dead end that has the one room on it or not. So that was where my like second guess was on it. It was like, is this the right way? Because the moment I didn't see or I think I saw like the corner of the house, and I'm like, this is the wrong way. Like my brain was like, no, you've done the muscle memory wrong. Go back.
No,
Kind of a,
I now go left, but I used to go up. I used to go up and across the bottom of that room for big safe spot.
Yeah. A kind of dumb thing to do, but something that's really, like, if you haven't gotten rid of your siege yet, go ahead and go back to C. Go rewalk that. Go check where that katana is, so that you have that instant memory of, yeah, that's where it's at. You're going to be safe. Like, you know you've already beat the game.
Oh yeah.
So just go rewalk it. Go back down to Kraken, figure out where it is. Go walk over to that katana so your brain gets the dopamine hit on, that's it. This is where it is.
Pretty box item is mine. Yay.
Yeah. Instead of just saying, oh, I know where that is now. Like, you got the airship, load it up, go back over there, just go check it, and now you feel better.
So they consider I have to run like 2 seeds tomorrow. I might just do it then. Because...
Oh, yeah.
In
Oh,
fairness,
yeah.
also, like as the flag sets get slightly more difficult, Sea Shrine still becomes a very big hot button issue at top levels of play, because it's not a nice dungeon to have to keep winding your way through. There's very rough encounters, and then the treasure chests are so like spread out. It's just not a fun dungeon. So I don't blame you at all for not wanting to like fade it.
Oh, I mean, the other thing was, like, I felt a lot confident with a lot more of the dungeons this go around. Like, that was the thing, is when I was looking through the classes, and I'm like, the red mage has fast, that's great. The black mage has buff magic, so that means I have temper and fast on that as well. And then white mage rolled with exit magic, and I'm like, there is my routing, I'm good.
Yeah.
I will take
especially
rainbow, please.
And especially in this seed, where to go back to Shum's point about Sea Shrine being nasty, especially in this seed where the party platter had glare.
Ooh. I'm glad I didn't run into them.
Yeah, I dodged that, but
unfortunately, you ran into the grumps.
the times on this, even Maddie with the 77 minutes, like that is a really good time for ducks. This class is going to be solid.
Yay. I'm glad.
Yeah. I remember when, like, as long as I was less than 90 minutes, I was happy. And some of you guys are killing that here in the first week. I'm like, what?
I mean, I'm just comparing to my winter tournament times of like 2 hours, and I'm like, yep, I'm happy I'm improving.
Well, okay, winter tournament was oops all loose shard hunt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to loot goblin meat.
Yeah. And I do love loot goblining, obviously. Like, I did it a lot of the early seed here, just because, again, having exit and warp and just being like, where can I try to get some piece of equipment better than this silver sword, please?
Don't sleep on the silver sword. Like,
Oh, yeah,
you could
it was
take that all the
fine.
way.
It was fine, but I'm just like, I want something, anything.
When you go back to rewatch this and you check it compared to Shum, the number one thing isn't necessarily that, like, Shum didn't do this or did do that, but just the amount of checks that you did was probably the number one biggest time commitment.
Yeah. I was
Yep,
that and
the
forgetting
amount
that the ninja gets spells early, and I'm like, oh wait, I should probably have grabbed Nuke while I was in Ravoka.
Yeah, don't worry, I tried to cast it without having any spell charges, because they still don't get them until level 15.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah, no,
the
I'm not
number-
used to having the ninja so early, so I didn't even think that he could cast spells until like halfway through, and I'm like, wait a minute. Hold on.
Yeah, one of the biggest differences was the number of chests that you opened that Shum didn't.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things I have trouble with too, is what's good enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's going to be different for everyone at different levels of play. As a duckling, your good enough's probably going to be a little bit higher than what some other one is. Like, someone else may feel a little bit more comfortable. Yeah, I'm going to go in there with this sword. And you're like, nah, I really want the ice sword or something. That's fine. But you got to know where your level is and then cut off. Like, no, I am not grabbing anything once I have that ice sword.
I think I was leading very heavily into the gamble of like, do I keep trying to find something better because I know the katana is going to eventually be in the incentive pool.
Mhm.
Do I want to keep doing incentives or hope that I can grab something on the way that is better and ignore the rest of the incentives?
But how much time did you waste looking for those when you
Oh,
could have just grabbed the incentive?
way too much. Obviously, it was a gamble that didn't pay off, but if I had found
Yeah.
something nice in, say, ice, that
Oh,
would
yeah.
have been good.
And no one is faulting you for your plays. You still put on an amazing game. Like, please don't take it that way. But try to get you to think how.
I'm waiting for someone to say, why did you go to ice over volcano? And the answer was really stupid voice in my head saying, hey, maybe you should do ice. You've got
Nah.
warp, go.
That's not stupid. That's the exact play to do because you have a warp and an exit together. You get the guaranteed item before you go down the. I'm gonna go 7 floors into volcano and maybe die to carry.
I'll take it.
We were talking that like with warp and exit, you go to ice. There's no reason not to.
Have
You
you
go to
studied
ice, you
Canadians?
ignore the bottom. You ignore the bottom of ice. You ignore
I also
that
know
bottom
Fizzle
floor.
would be mad at me for taking Marsh instead of going straight to Earth.
So we talked about that a little bit with Shum here, but yeah, no, that was the right play. There were 2 items there. We
Yeah.
know now that hey, you ended up needing to get adamant from Crescent, whatever. But there were 2 incentive items.
Yeah, that was my other weird thing. Like, I didn't want... and this was just kind of brain, was like, I didn't want to go to Dwarves until I had TNT as well. Obviously, it was in Adamant Check, but
Right.
I looped around the go around the world strat to go to Crescent, which was massively out of my way, and I didn't have the money to get the spells I wanted, so I had to go back later when I got Floater. But grabbing it there, I was like, I think I was at the point of like, well, something has to be Canoe, and if they're vanilla, that leads right into me doing Ice and Volcano. So it was just like, that's where I want it to be, so that's where I'm gonna check. But it was bad.
So moving on to final thoughts. Final thoughts, Shoo.
Same as every time. I'm just going to say thank you to the comms team, the tracker, and Restreamer for putting all this together. And thank you to my on-stream competitor, Maddie. And yeah, no, I love doing this. Thank you for having me on the Restream. And I hope that any of the newer runners that sees me around, please reach out. I'd love to get you going through this Duck Boot Camp as well. I'm not one of the Duckling Dons, but I'm just member of the community that really enjoys competition, and so the better you get, the better I can get, and we can all have fun.
I'm working
I
on
hope
it.
to see you on the other side.
Take him up on that.
Oh, absolutely take him up on that.
Do it. If nothing
final
else,
thoughts,
beat
Maddie?
me. In terms of my final thoughts, special thanks obviously for everyone on crew here for, bombs, restream, tracking, all that fun stuff. I obviously assist with all of those things when I can, but, right now I'm trying to participate in the derby in practice, so I can't help as much as I normally would. So, very big thanks there. And I wanted to very specifically give a congratulations to Felisat on 6th of the race, because she got better than me, and she, I think, was the only other major duck in the race, because I don't know if Herbie is, but I think everyone else was a platypus. So, very congratulations there for beating me. I love to see that there are people joining who are better than my few months of skill, because it means that the derby's going to be great.
Yeah, this could be a real rough derby. This could be a really tough ducking derby this year.
I'm still aiming for Supreme. I'm going to need to practice.
Jay Scheidel, final thoughts.
Yeah, well, I want to run through a couple of things that we got upcoming here. So like we talked about a couple times on the stream tonight, this is our Duckling Boot Camp, getting ready for our Duckling Derby in about 5 weeks or so. If you are interested in what you have seen, if you want to join us, feel free to jump on into the Discord, grab yourself the Duckling role, grab yourself the Spectator role, and just check out what's going on. This week we had Fighter class on Sunday and Monday, and then we had Thief class yesterday and today. As we get into next week, we have Black Belts coming in on Sunday. So next week will be Sunday going forward, or it will be Black Belt going forward. So we're going to finish our melees off. Continuing on, we got some Two Loose and then a lot of other things that the Duckling Dons have prepared for you. So if you're interested, and kind of as Shum alluded down there, If you're interested in learning how to beat us, because really, that's what we try to teach you guys how to do. Jump on in, let us help, get the duckling roll, let's have some fun. DM, take us out.
Ooh, Black Belt Week, my favorite week. This was a very interesting seed. That early lock picking really helped open things up a lot. It was interesting to see the routing choices, the different routing choices from our 2 runners on stream. That is always a big question for me as a semi-experienced duckling. That how is my routing? So it's always interesting to see the routing. It's interesting to see that even experienced runners can misstep. And yes, join the community. Big thanks to Oslodo and Davion Hawk for restreaming and tracking respectively. Big thank you to Jay Scheidel for being in the booth with me tonight. And I have been DM Stewart 1981. Good night, everybody.